Let's talk about South Carolina quarterback LaNorris Sellers. Talk about keys for success against Texas A&M's defense, and we'll have the A&M defense kind of scroll here because I want to talk about A&M's defense first, right? So, a few minutes talking about A&M's defense, then we'll talk about keys for LaNorris Sellers, and we'll look at some film from Sellers of the type of plays that I think he's going to have to make to beat Texas A&M this week. And so, let's talk about A&M's defense first. And South Carolina fans, A&M's defense is going to be very similar to y'all's. They got a good defensive line. They force a lot of bad mistakes by the quarterback, and they like to get pressure without having to blitz as much. So y'all probably blitz a bit more than A&M does, but they still create havoc, and they try to get the quarterback to make bad decisions like they do right here. So I think they're tied for second in the SEC with 11 interceptions. South Carolina fans, y'all are, I think, third with 10. But the A&M defense wants to confuse the quarterback pre-snap, which we can see here. That leads to a bad decision. Here's another interception from Nuss here. They drop 7 a lot, but they blitz strategically, right? So against Florida, they blitz only 15% of the time. Against Arkansas, they blitz 28% of the time. Against Mizzou, they blitz 27%. Against LSU, they only blitz 28% of the dropbacks, and they still force 3 interceptions. So a lot of times their rush creates bad mistakes, like Taylor Green, this interception here. They created 3 turnovers from the quarterback position against Arkansas, 2 fumbles and this pick right here. Against LSU, they created 3 interceptions. Against Florida, they had 3 interceptions. They've had at least 1 turnover in every SEC game besides the Mizzou game, but they crushed Mizzou, and they got 26 pressures and 5 sacks on Mizzou, right? So watching this A&M defense, it's very similar to y'all's. So with that said, let's talk about. We'll let a few more clips go. We can see the pressure here against DJ Lagaway, and then we see one more pick thrown from Mert. So again, if you're LaNorris Sellers, if you're South Carolina, taking care of the ball is obviously huge, and avoiding these type of mistakes against a defense that's going to want to try to force you to make mistakes. So let's talk about LaNorris Sellers for a second, and then we'll have the clips that will actually break down. So I think you're going to have a big game from Sellers. And we've seen Sellers improve, I think, this whole season, game after game after game, right? Like, if you look at LaNorris Sellers, he's built off his continued improvement. I think he'll have to do so here as well. And this may be the best defense you face all year, right? If you are South Carolina and LaNorris Sellers, right? This may be the best defense you face all year, right? So if you're LaNorris Sellers, 3 main keys. I think you're going to have to combine what you've done well against OU, combine what you did well against Kentucky, combine what you did well against LSU, and make it all into one game to have success. Here's that last pick here. So key number 1, I think having some success off of play action. I think the play action, we've seen A&M's defense give up some plays. If you go back and watch the Florida game, Graham Mertz had some success off play action. In fact, the only real offensive success Florida had was off play action, was getting the defense to get out of position, was having them be aggressive. Key number 2, using your legs. Now, yes, some design runs. That's always going to be part of the game if you're LaNorris Sellers in South Carolina. Let me pause it real quick. Yes, some design runs, but also some scrambles like we're going to see here. Some scrambles to that lead to you running the ball, and some scrambles that lead to passing the ball, right? Key number 3, you're going to have to hit on some vertical throws to win this game. And we've seen Sellers improve in that area a lot the past few games. You had several big-time throws. Some are on the run and some are in the pocket, right? So main keys, play action to get the defense out of position, use your legs, not just as a design quarterback runner, but to scramble, to avoid pressure to throw, and then hit on some vertical throws. So let's go ahead and break down some of this film. Here is the first play of the game, I think, offensively for South Carolina after OU threw a pick. We see him break contain here and scrambles for a big gain here. Again, A&M doesn't blitz a ton, right? They're very strategic when they do blitz. I guarantee they're going to have a spy or someone here for Sellers. So eventually it may be Sellers one-on-one open field. He's going to have to beat that defender. But here's an example of scrambling as a runner, which I think Sellers would have to do. Against LSU, he had that huge 75-yard run. Like, they were in a good position to win the game until he got hurt. And a lot of that was due to him using his legs. All right, let's go ahead and watch 2 clips of him scrambling and then creating a big pass. So here's OU. We're going to see he kind of scrambles, gets in the pocket, breaks contain, and throws a good deep ball here against Oklahoma. This is right before halftime. I can't remember if they get a field goal here or not, but it looks like he's about to get sacked. Comes out here. Again, this is the scramble going off script that I think you'll need to do against A&M's defense to have some success. If you go back and watch, like, Taylor Green, the quarterback for Arkansas, his big touchdown came on the run against Arkansas. So I think there's some ability there to for Arkansas against A&M. So I think there's some ability there to get the defense out of position when you scramble and Brent contain. Here's another clip. Let me move myself. This is against Kentucky. The blitzer comes through here. He's a free rusher. We'll see Sellers able to escape the pocket, make him miss, and throw a nice deep ball to the sideline. This was a big game. This led to a touchdown. This play here essentially led to Kentucky pulling away, and not to Kentucky, excuse me, led South Carolina pulling away and winning 31-6, right? So legs, I think, is the main key to help you get settled in. You have to scramble to run and scramble to pass. All right, key number 2, play action. Maybe this was the first key I said, but play action, and this leads to a vertical throw. So we see the threat of the run game, not just from Sellers, but if you can get Sanders going and this other backs in South Carolina, if you can get them going, it gets the defense out of position. This is a creative, nice play because you have that option route, or you have that option here, and then he's able to throw a touchdown here to, I don't know who that is. South Carolina fans, y'all can let me know who that is in the comments below. Again, we're just a big SEC quarterback hub, so we don't have all the receivers and running backs' names memorized, but definitely the quarterback's names, right? So anyways, with that said, play action to get defenders out of position. And then key number 3, you're going to have to hit in some vertical throws. Now, this is more of an intermediate type throw. I count this as play action. It's a fake sweep, and then we got a vertical throw here. I think you're going to have to hit on some of these throws to actually win the game, because if you scramble, if it leads to some big plays, that's great, but that can, the defense can still keep that in front potentially. I think you're going to have to make some tough throws. This is a good throw here by Sellers against Kentucky. It's that little fake sweep, and then gets it kind of intermediate type throw. And then the last clip we'll watch is, this is a busted coverage against Alabama, but still a vertical throw. It's a 4th and 9. It's a huge part of the game. This essentially got them in the game and made it an extremely close game. You had the chance to win at the end. But hitting on these type of throws would be huge. Now, I don't think you have to hit on 30, 40-yard bombs consistently. I don't think you want to try to make a living. That's not your offense. But if you can hit on 1 or 2 of those this week against A&M, that could really help open up the offense for you and put you in a good position moving forward here. Again, like we talked about, it all starts, I think, from the beginning of the game, like using your leg, yes, some design, but scrambling, going off script to throw and to run. And then I really think that play action could help get defenders out of position, man, especially with the threat of South Carolina's run game and the aggressive defense that A&M has. Again, we talked about A&M's defense is very similar to y'all as South Carolina fans. They got a good up front 7. They got a good secondary. They get pressure on the quarterback, and it leads to havoc, right? So they're very aggressive. So get them out of position. I think that play action can really help there. But to win the game, I really think it's going to have to be throws like this here, some vertical throws downfield. Now, this is some play action, yes, but it's a vertical throw downfield. And I think you're going to have 1 or 2 of these type of vertical throws to win, then several intermediate type of throws. You just can't have the A&M's defense crowd the line of scrimmage. All right, so South Carolina fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. 1, what do you think the keys are for Sellers? Again, this is just a quarterback hub, so there's obviously a lot more keys. Defense, special teams, running, offensive line, all that stuff is of course huge. So feel free to let me know that in the comments as well. But we're just talking about the quarterback perspective. So let me know what you want to see from Sellers, what you think the keys are to success, and if you like this SEC quarterback niche content, please consider subscribing to the channel. It does help us grow, and like the video, share, all that fun stuff. Really helps us grow. Thanks for following us along. Again, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you next time. Peace.